Ba has the blessing of the gods, which gives him immense power, surpassing almost everyone, including the most dangerous monsters. However, despite him having this amazing power and having more riz than 100 chads, it doesn't stop him from being knocked out unconscious whenever a woman touches him. So one day, as he passes through the wilderness in his journey to find a cure, an injured woman not far away called Suking frantically runs through the snowy wilderness to evade some monsters, but unfortunately for her, the creatures pick up on her scent and chase after her down the steep hill. The vigorous movement causes great pain to her leg. However, she's more worried about her junior siblings who came with her on the mission to find something known as a beast core. One of the monsters closes the distance and launches an attack that she barely blocks. The force knocks the blade out of her hand, sending her tumbling down the hill. The pack of monsters quickly surround her and slowly close in. She shuts her eyes, surrendering to her fate, when a spear lands in front of the creatures, which startles them. The ground begins to rumble as war cries can be heard approaching. General San heads a unit of wolf-riding men who are followed by their boss, Ba. Their presence forces the monsters to back away from Suking. Sam asks the young master if he would require assistance, which he declines. The general informs the group that Ba is about to act, so they should watch closely. They hallow with their canine mounts as Ba levitates while casting his spell. The young master notices that his star summoning technique evokes fear in the monsters. He shoots an ice spell that traps the monsters instantly. Suking is in awe of his power. Later, Ba gets a vision of a mysterious lady declaring them to be husband and wife, and promising not to keep him waiting much longer. He stretches to grab her, only to find himself holding Sam's chubby cheeks when he opens his eyes. The younger master flinches in disgust and quickly composes himself as he asks for an update. The general informs him that Sukin has come to see him and comments on how thin she is. He wonders what need they have for her. While Sukin waits, she notices the decorations around the hall and concludes that the young master must be wealthy. Her thoughts come to a halt when Ba enters the room, and as he takes a seat on his chair, she's taken aback by how handsome he is. He makes a mental note of how beautiful she is and offers her a seat. The younger master begins their discussion by confirming from her if she was able to reunite with her younger brother and sister. Suking thanks him for saving their lives, but Ba glosses past it as he wants to know why they came to the North Wilderness despite being so weak. She overlooks the cheap shot and explains that they came to find the spirit bird known as White Hawfinch to obtain its beast core so that they can cure the illnesses of their sect's seniors. Unfortunately for them, they can't retrieve it, so Ba reveals that he has many and offers to give her one. Sutin gets up with excitement, but he pauses her when she's about to thank him. The young master confesses that it's not for free. He would want one of the siblings to stay and serve him for 6 years in exchange. The other two are free to leave with the beast core. Suking sits down quietly and nervously thinks before deciding to stay since she is the eldest. Ba discloses that her younger siblings had the same sentiments. He orders the general to give them the core and escort them to the south where they will board a ship. Ba smiles as he picks up on the slight silliness in her personality, but he finds her to be kind. He decides to teach her a lesson or two during her stay. He formally introduces himself and requests her name along with her sect and age. Suking discloses her name and reveals that she's been a member of the Windmoon sect since she was young and has been practicing her cultivation under Master Zuodong for over 30 years. She tries to give her sect some hype, but Ba tells her to pipe down, remarking that she ain't that special since she is over 40 years old and comes from a mediocre small sect with average talent. The lady points out that her master told her that a cultivator at the core condensation stage can live 1,000 years, so her being 40 is nothing. Ba is aware that the main cultivation paths in the human realm are spiritual and physical. He can see that her blood chi is weak, which is why she chose spiritual cultivation. He already knows that she can't fly yet, which indicates that she is below the golden core stage. Suking admits that she's at the original returning stage, which doesn't impress Ba at all as he calls her weak. This triggers her to offload all her frustrations, stating that she has not achieved anything despite decades of cultivation. Her alchemy skills are also abysmal to the point that she blows up the furnace. Her newly joined junior sister is more talented than her. She lists more things that are wrong, calls herself pathetic, and bursts into tears wishing she listened to her mother and just married instead of pursuing cultivation and immortality. Her reaction makes Ba feel a little guilty. He accidentally calls her an old lady while trying to console her, but he corrects himself before she notices. The young master asks the general to do something, so he orders one of the guards to go comfort her, but the guy reveals that he's married so he can't be doing that and risks sleeping on the couch. He points out that she's so thin and doesn't even have that natural cake. Sukin overhears this and wants to end herself, Ba assures her that she's not that bad and tells her that everyone has their low points in life. He guarantees if she serves him wholeheartedly, no one will be able to ignore her. Sam reveals that the young master is the youngest senior star priest in North Wilderness, so serving him will guarantee a bright future. She jolts up full of hope, causing Ba to push back as he pleads with her to maintain her distance. She heads to a room thinking that they are about to perform some adult yoga, which confuses everyone present. He only asks her to touch his hand, hoping that the women from the human realm might be different from the ones in his realm. The general and the guards watch on intensely as she reaches for him. As soon as they make contact, Ba collapses. It is revealed that he has a condition that makes him collapse whenever a lady touches him. He regains consciousness and sits on a hill overlooking the village. The voluminous ladies in the village give him attention as they all excitedly wave at him. He knows they are interested in him as he waves back. The restricted Chad frustratedly pulls his hair because he can't do more. Su King interrupts his fit, so he asks her to join him for a chat. He closes his eyes and tells her to meditate too, but she declines. She was worried, so she came to check up on him. He bluntly tells her not to mention it, which she agrees to. The lady looks at him, wondering if something went wrong with his cultivation. Ba suddenly clicks his fingers, which prompts his guards to bring a lounging chair and a bucket of drinks. The young master freezes the drinks and puts on some glasses, as he tells Su Qing that he will provide her with corresponding rewards if she stays by his side. He tells her that she misunderstood his collapse, but what she needs to concentrate on is to help him verify the theories of human realm cultivation. He also wants her to provide him with detailed information about the human realm. He confirms that he wants to go there when the time is right. The guy just wants to cure his strange illness so that he can utilize his spectacular riz. He assumes that she has a lot of experience cultivating since she has been practicing for so long. That evening, he instructs her to draw a map of the human realm on a stone tablet. As she draws, he critiques her statement about controlling objects with chi as it has many flaws. This frustrates Su King to the point that she breaks her pen. Ba moves on to using talismans to interpret some of the star summoning techniques in hopes that they can unleash extraordinary power. Su King hides her poorly drawn talismans when she sees Ba's. He asks for her opinion regarding the correctness of the chi circulation diagram. She doesn't have a clue, so she pleads for him to allow her to review the material. The young master uses her touch to force himself to sleep, since he developed some light insomnia due to overstudying. He tells her to wake him up later. Su King refuses to be so unprepared when she is asked these questions by Ba and decides to read up while the young master sleeps. And not before long, she too falls asleep and is rather woken up by Ba. She pauses in shock when she realizes that he's already learned how to cultivate spiritual energy just after his first meditation session. Su King can't resist acknowledging his talent at cultivation. It ends abruptly, which causes him to cough up red residue. Su King worriedly rushes over, but he tells her to keep their distance. He informs her that he's fine, as it was just a momentary blockage of chi and blood. He's sure if he adjusts his breathing, it shouldn't happen again. Internally, he wonders if the human cultivation techniques conflict with the star summoning techniques. He gets a telepathic call from his mother. She wants to know his reasoning for practicing the techniques of the human realm. She explains that human cultivation focuses equally on essence, energy, and spirit, unlike the star summoning techniques. At this point, Ba has astral projected himself before his mother. She points out that one's lifespan is determined by fate, and cultivating to earn immortality shows disrespect to the Starry Lord. She explains that whatever extra life force he gains will be suppressed by the temple of the Starry Lord. The young master is not sure if there is a cure to his strange illness, but he doesn't want the problem to affect the Bear Hug clan. His mother feels guilty about his illness. Ba requests that his parents should try for another child. Otherwise, their lineage might end with him. She informs him that it is difficult to have more children after becoming the senior sun priest. She confirms with her son that he is certain about practicing the techniques of the human realm before giving him a necklace. This activates Ba's powers momentarily, which startles Sukin. The mother instructs him to wear it as it can avoid detection of the techniques by the temple. Once he reaches the foundation stage of the technique, the Starry Lord's temple won't be able to hinder him anymore. However, she reminds him that he mustn't reveal the techniques of the human realm in their world, or there will be trouble. He promises her that he will not. He returns to his body, and Sukin is intrigued by the necklace. Ba alerts her that his mother gave it to him and discloses that she's second only to the Starry Lord. He excuses himself as he's going to pay his respects to his grandmother. He's escorted by San and 2 guards as he pushes his Nana around. They stop at the waterfront where they discuss his upcoming chief's trial. and wonder if his father would arrive by then. She explains that he's handling affairs with the long-hair tribe in the north border, which has been tricky. The old lady is not sure he'll make it back in time. According to tradition, the first trial for the future chief is to fight a 300-year-old thorn-backed beast. His father ordered San and the others to capture a 1,000-year-old one at the border for Ba's trial. He just sees it as his dad pushing him. His grandmother is happy to hear that he understands, but she has told San to injure it a little. She cares about him too much to see him hurt and prays that his strange illness gets cured. She reveals that San alerted her about Su King and hopes that he's found some success. He vows to find a solution so he can give her plenty of grandchildren by way of demonetization activity. The day of the first trial finally comes. Su King comments on how formal he looks and is sure that he will capture the hearts of thousands of girls in the tribe. He checks himself in the mirror before heading out to the cheering crowd. The young master then proceeds to the battleground where the thorn-backed beast is being held by many mages. General Sam confirms that Ba is ready before they release the beast. Everyone retreats and closes the bridge as the creature breaks its chains. Su King is the first to notice a falling object, but just takes it as a shooting star. As the young master charges to fight the creature, his wolf pack stops along with the beast as their attention is drawn to the falling object. The sky turns red as it gets closer, causing the villagers to run for their lives. The grandmother recognizes it as the blessing of the Star Lady, but wonders why they have been chosen. The object crashes into the arena, causing the fleeing villagers to be engulfed by the dust. The 1,000-year-old thorn-backed beast tries to flee, but is crushed by the one step of the monster that emerges from the dust. Elsewhere, Ba's mother, who is also known to her subordinates as Lady Kangshu, is informed that the star deity responded to their prayers, and her blessings that has been sent upon Ba's village cannot be stopped as this is the rules of the North Wilderness. She is reminded by her lackeys that their role as senior sun priests is to maintain the balance between the clans. However, Kangshui takes offense to this statement, thinking that they are trying to teach her what to do. They quickly apologize and plead for her to patiently wait and allow the events to unfold. Meanwhile, at the village, San frantically calls to the young master. He is frozen in fear when the creature clears the dust with a shockwave. Each step it takes fractures the ground and causes lava to flow, resulting in fires breaking out. Now that the monster can be seen, Su King notes its 4 horns along with other features and recognizes it as Zhu Huai. It is a man-eating beast recorded in ancient books. One of this size must be tens of thousands of years old. Immortals have eliminated all of them in the human realm, so it is shocking to see one suddenly appear in this one. The monster shoots some flaming rocks at the village, which rapidly spreads the fire as well as chaos. Ba calls for his people not to panic. He informs San to execute the 3rd emergency evacuation plan. They should abandon the royal court and make sure they leave with everyone. He intends to lure the creature away with his attacks to make it possible. He launches a giant iceberg at the head of the beast and is shocked to see it do little damage. After recalling the plan, the general gives the order to his men as they perform the mass evacuation. All the while, the young master continues his assault, but the monster proceeds forward. It even turns its attention to the fleeing people, so Ba rushes to its line of sight to divert its attention back to him. Since frontal attacks aren't working, he tries one from above, calling on the Star Lady to grant him supreme power to destroy all that obstructs him. The young master summons a large frozen spear, as he wonders if this could be punishment for his secret assistance to the other tribes, which could have disrupted the balance in the North Wilderness. He stops that train of thought and begins to analyze the structure of this colossal foe. Each time it steps on the ground, magma erupts, causing great heat. Ba wonders if his ice spear will melt before it hits its target. Since he's throwing it from a high altitude, the heat generated by the friction will also speed up the process. He begins to reach his limit as he coughs up that natural ketchup. Some of it splatters on the ice spear, but he refuses to give up. This causes the ice to turn red. He decides to use a wind technique to protect the iceberg from melting. The young master prepares the spell and launches the attack. All the while, Su King works hard to retrieve a baby from the fire and notices the priests praying. She informs them not to waste the young master's sacrifice in leading the beast away. One of the priests explains that they are showing appreciation to the Star Lady for bestowing them with such grace. Su King doesn't see anything graceful about this disaster. Ba's grandmother explains that in the North Wilderness, the giant beasts that descend from the sky are the grace given by the Star Lady. The old-timer introduces herself, revealing that she is the former chief priest of the Bear Hug tribe. Su King shows her respect, and the grandma asks Su King to carry her to the battlefront, as she is the only one who can help Ba at this time. She uses a land board to get her to the desired spot. As they get closer, the two notice the young master's attack. His grandmother comments on his impressive, unorthodox use of the star summoning techniques and how she has never seen him use an attack in all her years. She can see that the North Wilderness is too small for him. Su King drops her off just in front of Zhu Huai. She tells Su Qin to deliver her last message to her grandson, to plead for him not to blame himself or the priests in the tribe for what has transpired. The old woman summons her staff and uses the last of her life force to hold the giant monster in place, allowing Ba to land his attack. The impact causes a giant explosion that decimates Zhu Huai and leaves a glacier. Ba's grandma collapses, but Su King holds her before she hits the floor. The old lady gets confirmation from her that there are no immortals in the human realm and calls it a good place. In the aftermath, Ba gets some time to spend with his deceased grandmother, as she is displayed for all to pay their respects. He recalls all the good times he spent with her, which makes him grimace in pain. Su King offers some comfort by telling him her final message to him. He pays his last respects to her after hearing this and jets off without saying a word to Su King. He arrives at the burned side of the village where his necklace begins to glow. He realizes that his mother is trying to communicate with him. They meet in the astral plane where she informs him that her non-intervention is the rules of the temple. If this blessing occurred in another tribe, she would have done the same. She is happy to see that her son is unhurt. He informs her of his grandma's passing, but she has already seen the disappearance of her starlight. Ba wants to know the meaning of the Star Lady's blessing. She explains that an ancient battle erupted between the lords and the heavenly palace where the Star Lady once resided. The North Wilderness was her trophy, so the lords from the other 8 wildernesses could not invade. The Star Lady was severely injured during the battle, so she needed to sleep within the starry boundary to recover. She was concerned that while in her slumber, something powerful enough to threaten her would appear. To counter this, she created the 7 sun priests and passed down the star summoning techniques to them to control the entire North Wilderness. Whenever she senses a tribe with the potential to unify the North Wilderness rising, she sends down a monstrous creature formed from her hair to eliminate the threat in advance as a blessing. This is to maintain the balance among the various tribes. 300 years ago, the once mighty Kwafu clan fell into decline. Due to this, Kamshui confesses that this is the truth behind the Star Lady's blessing. From this explanation, Ba deduces that the blessing aims to prevent any tribe from becoming powerful enough to threaten the Star Lady. With a smug look on his face, he asks if the Star Lady's blessing would trigger if the North Wilderness's overall strength increased while the tribes remained decentralized. Kang Shui doesn't believe it would, and with this better understanding, he thanks his mother. She warns him that he's still far too weak, so he shouldn't harbor any thoughts of resisting the will of the Star Lady. Doing this will bring a true disaster to their tribe, so she leaves him on that note, and he seems to understand the dangers. Since it's the blessing of the Star Lady, he will accept it. He returns to the village where they have a ceremony for the people they lost. During his speech, he reveals that over 1,200 members of their tribe have met their demise, and over 3,000 were injured thanks to that monster. He clenches his fist in frustration and states that most of the casualties were elders and children. The priest pleads with the young master not to blame himself, as it is a force they cannot fight against. Ba lets everyone know that if it weren't for his grandma's sacrifice, the number of casualties would have been immeasurable. A priestess gives her condolences to the young master and reminds him that the blessing of the Star Lady is a gift to the Bear Hug clan. Ba claps and interrupts her, as he states that she said it right, but asks them if they have ever thought about this blessing and why it happens every 100 years. He also asks that why is it that the chosen tribe is always the most powerful one at the time. This question gets everyone muttering among themselves. Ba encourages everyone to think hard, because the Star Lady wouldn't meet a monstrous creature if she wanted to destroy a tribe. Even though that is the case, he spins it by first voicing that it would be disrespectful to speculate about the intentions of the Star Lady with their lowly thoughts. But he proposes that they have misunderstood the true meaning of the Star Lady's blessing. She protects the endless starry sky and the entire North Wilderness. She cares about everybody hoping for peace and the existence of the entire North Wilderness. He tells them that the blessing of the Star Lady is the weakest creature created by her divine power, and it's sent to test the strongest tribe of the North Wilderness. He anoints this as the true meaning behind the Star Lady's blessing to her people. In facing the weakest creature, they can't even defeat it. He berates his people for disrespecting the Star Lady. This is the shame of the North Wilderness, and to the priests of their clan. The shamans look at each other confused. Ba suggests that they need to reflect on how to accept this blessing when it comes. Letting it disappear is the greatest insult to the Star Lady. The lead priest has a concerned look on his face as he asks the young master how he knows all of this. He lies and informs them that these are the last words of his grandma. She had Su King convey it to him before her sacrifice. Ba believes that it was what she felt in her final moments of enlightenment. Su King is perplexed by his words because the old-timer didn't say anything close to that, but she just plays along and agrees. The head priest admits that they have never truly understood the will of the Star Lady. Ba believes that they still have time and pleads with everyone to think carefully. The priests begin to consider that they might have been wrong all this time, and the blessing requires them to actively accept it. The young master's words resonate with the priestesses because it doesn't make sense for a protector like the Star Lady to send monsters as messengers. She believes the late chief priest's final enlightenment that the blessing is a test and not a disaster. Ba quietly leaves as the discourse begins to change. Some voice that the techniques they have been practicing for years should be used in moments like the monster's attack. Su King figures out what Ba might be up to and calls him cunning. She later interrupts the young man in San, informing him that his spin on the narrative got the men of the village excited. Some of them revealed that they would have fought that monster if it wasn't for the priests holding them back. Ba is happy to hear this and orders General San to personally deliver a letter to his father, telling him to send someone to contact the powerful clans that have senior sun priests. They are to be told that if they are willing to send their strongest troops to help the Bear Hug clan slaughter the monster, he will give them as many giant crossbows and arrows as they want. Ba doesn't care what kind of blessing this is because he will not sit by and let his people get attacked. Things proceed with some fighting among the senior sun priests. Kang Shui blows back her subordinates when they try to oppose her. One of them surprises everyone when she casts a spell that captures Kang Shu, but the head quickly dispels it and expertly nullifies her with a finger poke to the forehead. She makes it clear that she believes and looks up to the Star Lady. However, she wants to protect her family even more. She gives the mandate that going forward, whichever clan receives the Star Lady's blessing will have the full backing of the Star Lady sect, as they will join hands with all the clans in North Wilderness. The subordinates fall in agreement that it's a wise decision by Kang Shui. Meanwhile, Ba's father Han has returned from his diplomatic mission and is also joined by the strongest troops from the other clans. He informs everyone that his son will be commanding the final battle against Zhu Huai, who is only incapacitated with Ba and his grandmother's combination attack. Han assures the leaders of the other clans that the promised giant crossbows are ready, so they will give it to them after the battle. Ba takes over and begins to brief everyone on the beast's anatomy so that they all understand its weak points. The young master also informs the people that if they want to win, a unit is needed to distract it. The day of their assault arrives, and the warriors gather around the monster. Han gets enraged when he thinks about how it has harmed his people. He promises to tear it apart as he launches the first attack. This awakens the beast, which counters with a fireball that hits the chief square in the face, sending him flying. San cries out to the boss. Han gets up a little banged up, but in one piece, Chief Lang of the Big Wave clan laughs, calling him a loser. After giving his big speech, he jumps in with his dual hammers, confident that he's going to defeat the beast, but he meets the same fate as his fellow chief. Han smirks at the fact that he was just as easily defeated. Both recover and refuse to yield as they launch their next assault. Ba face palms from secondhand embarrassment, but he quickly regains his focus on the beast in front of them. He analyzes the situation on top of a flying creature. The first wave of attack is to cause as much damage as possible. This allows the unit in the air to prepare their combination assault, creating giant icicles. The beast is prompted to counter with an equally powerful fireball. Ba predicts this and neutralizes its attack by placing a barrier around it after they shoot their spell. He jumps down and goes on the ground assault on the beast's weak points with its neck and backside. A volley of giant magic-imbued arrows is fired, which causes great damage to the beast. This continues till the monster is defeated. That evening, Ba spends some alone time as he watches over the village, but he soon heads down where he walks in on Xingtian, teasing his father, who is still burnt from the beast's attack. Langs gets mad and berates his son for his cheekiness. The young master smirks as he walks past them to his father. Han pays his respects to his late mother, before lightheartedly grabbing his son, commending him on a job well done, which led to their victory. The two chiefs head out, leaving the young'uns alone. Xingtian is not impressed by Ba, and asks the young master to follow his lead and he'll keep him safe. The heir to the Big Wave clan introduces himself and his younger sister Guduo. The lady is already smitten by Ba, but he's too busy listening to Xingtian, talking about how he wishes to achieve so much that his clan's name will be changed to his name, just like Kwafu did in the past for his clan. Ba is skeptical about that, but he hides his true sentiments by politely calling Xingtian's goals admirable. Their interaction is interrupted by an urgent report from one of the guards. His father has summoned him because there have been some changes in the body of the beast. He's unable to explain it, but feels like he'll understand once he has seen it. Ba excuses himself and quickly follows the guard. From their interaction, Xingtian has a more positive opinion of the young master. On the other hand, his sister can't get over how good-looking Ba is. My guy has that unspoken riz. Meanwhile, he moves with haste to the battlefield. His father gestures for him to come close since the beast has left something for them. He shows him the deposits of starstone around the area, and Han reveals that it is one of the most precious ores in the North Wilderness. Just this piece that they have dug out can provide their clan with enough food for an entire year. Ba remembers his mother telling him that these beasts are sent whenever the Star Lady senses a tribe with the potential to unify the North Wilderness. He figures that it is from the hair of the Star Lady. His father commends his brilliance since no other tribe has dared to defeat the Blessing Beast. He would have never predicted that the Star Lady's blessing was a real one. Ba is just shocked that the words he spoke while trying to mislead the priests turned out to be true. The young master informs his father that being the only dominant tribe will be a disaster. He believes that the only way for them to develop is through common prosperity. The North Wilderness has vast territory and great potential. Based on this, he advises his father to block the news about this find from spreading. Then he should bury the site and guard it with heavy troops. Their clan shouldn't mine the Star Stone. The father laughs at him but decides to listen to his advice because he trusts his son's wisdom. Ba heads to his room to find Suking taking a bath. While he waits for her to finish, he relays his theory to her. She understands that if they figure out the mechanism of the Star Lady's blessing and establish an effective hunting system, the beasts can become a controllable resource with the Starstone that they drop after their defeat. This would make the North Wilderness prosperous. Suking wonders if the Star Lady will go bald with all the beasts she has been sending, which are made from her hair. Ba makes her blush when he suggests she set up a soundproof barrier the next time she takes a bath. San enters the room to update the young master on village matters. The tribes that came to help have received the giant crossbows that were promised. He's a little worried that they are giving such a powerful weapon in their arsenal to other clans. Ba tells him that the smelting technique used is the most important thing and assures the general that he knows what he's doing. He also alerts him that the Hare tribe who worship the Beast Lord had an altercation with one of their men at the border because of a clash of beliefs. However, the issues were resolved as the long-haired tribe compensated them with some cattle and sheep. San is sure that he wants to seize their giant crossbows, so he would like to deal with them. Ba reminds him that they aim to pursue peace and mutual development. The general agrees and moves on to the next topic. The clan priest has received the latest instructions from the Star Lady and has joined the Star Lady sect. He worries that this new group could grab power in the future, but Ba lets him know that he's already aware of this sect. Finally, San hints that his father has a surprise for him at the upcoming bonfire banquet. Suking comes out in the tribe's outfit, which makes Ba blush. She gives him a book on the advanced demonic techniques that she picked from the market. It is very expensive, so it catches Ba's attention, but he gives her back the book after a quick look. His reaction gets her curious, so she also has a look only to find that it is a manual that gives instructions on adult yoga. She has been scammed. The embarrassment also causes her to get red-faced. The following night, the lighting of the bonfire marks the beginning of the banquet as everyone dances and makes merry. The clan head priest and San inform Han what an asset his son is to the village. They go as far as to call him a natural-born leader. They also express their worries about finding a solution for the young master's condition. He can be seen sharing a laugh with Suking. The general points out that he will be 18 soon enough. They rule out the possibility of it being the techniques he's learning, because the other males are learning them too, and they are fine. Han goes over to his son and begins to reminisce about his young days, wishing that his dad let him explore a little more before settling down with Kang Shui. He continues to incriminate himself, oblivious to the fact that his wife is behind him. By the time he realizes it's too late, she freezes him for his wish to be a city boy, and is only freed when Ba begs on his behalf since she's punishing the chief in front of his subjects. She also reluctantly allows Ba to interact with the wide variety of women his father gathered to see if at least one of them will not trigger his symptoms. They all cause him to collapse by just touching his hands. However, a lady at the end catches his attention when her eyes glow. He asks for her name, but she shakes her head in response. San reveals that she's from the Yushiki state, which is claimed to be a place of witchcraft. Without touching her, he picks her to be his servant. Kang Shui looks into her eyes and notices that a mysterious group views the events through her. The main culprit involved licks her lips with eagerness to cause mayhem. Later that evening, the possessed servant is left alone with the young master and uses that opportunity to execute her plan. She activates her nails and goes in for the attack when it's interrupted by Suking. Ba informs her that the new servant will be staying with her for the night till her accommodation is finalized. The young master watches them from his crystal ball with a smile. Suking runs a hot bath and begins to chat away. She notices the mark on the possessed servant's back and makes a comment hoping that the newcomer does not have magic that can turn people into mindless living puppets. This puts the attacker on edge, thinking that she is being found out. She informs her subordinates at their hideout that they have been compromised, not knowing that Suking is oblivious to their plan and is only waffling on. They attacked and quickly dispersed as the leader gave the command to the possessed servant to finish Suking. Ba intercepts the attack with his ice magic, From the look on his face, Suking guesses that he knew that the servant was being controlled the whole time. She berates him for it, but he confesses that he took advantage of her ability to waffle to confuse the enemy. He uses his crystal ball as a catalyst to fire a homing spell at his attacker. It splits when they do the same, and targets them all individually. General San and his men head out to round up the culprits. The leader is brought before the young master, and he orders their extermination. The witch quickly begins to confess that they are assassins, who were employed by the long-haired tribe to do the job. She pleads for mercy as the guards drag her away. Ba can't allow this to slide if he's to be the pioneer who joins all the clans together. He orders the general to spread the news that the head of the Sun Priests, Kem Shui, found the mastermind behind his assassination attempt by the Long-Hair clan. All clans who believe in the Star Lady are to rally and join the Bear Hug clan to attack the perpetrators. Those who participate are promised parts of the Long-Hair tribe's territory. He also orders Sun King to prepare for their journey to the human realm. He later sleeps on his way to a market and has another dream of the strange lady calling to him. She hugs and bites him without his curse activating. The lady turns to him, showing the middle part of her face as a promise not to make him wait too long. She disappears as he tries to hold her. He wakes up from his dream where Sun King worries that he had a nightmare given the way he's sweating. He is busy speculating that his curse might have been put by that woman, and his attention comes back to the present as they arrive at the market. He instructs everyone to wait outside while he goes alone in a very convincing disguise. He goes to a tavern and spots a delegation of humans outside. Miss Ling is asked if they should rest a little before they continue their journey. She looks up at Ba, and the resemblance to the woman in his dream shocks him, but he notes that it's not her. He can also see that the delegation has good cultivation levels. They enter the establishment where he learns that Su King's master is part of the delegation. The group has come to hunt a 1,000-year-old fierce beast and build trade relations with some of the tribes. He overhears them talking bad about him for taking Su King as a servant. He's impressed by Miss Ling, who quietly cultivates while taking her tea. Ji grabs his party's attention with his entrance, but everyone quickly turns away because they don't like him. He joins Ba and gives him money, hoping that the guy can point him to where he can have some real fun, but the young master ends up talking too loudly, exposing Ji. He gets criticized by the other members of the delegation before they all leave for their next destination. Ba heads back to the village, and after some time, they are visited by the human delegation. As they proceed to the main tent, they can be heard complaining about Xinqian's behavior when they went to visit the Bugwave clan previously. Their chatter is interrupted when Su King rushes out to greet her master. She assures him that she's being treated very well. She offers to escort them to see the young master. All the while, Ba watches them from his orb and uses his spirit vision to see that the human delegation is ordinary, with the people having good hearts, as most of them have a purple aura. But Ji's aura is yellow, which the young master has never seen before, and Miss Ling is a pure soul, as her aura is a bright white. However, there is someone with a dark aura that catches Ba's attention. The delegation is officially introduced as they enter the tent, but Ji is too busy looking for some of the native women to try and rizz up. All the while, Wang is blocked from entering for a moment and intimidated for his rude comments about the clan. They all settle down to discuss the potential trade deal, but Ba is reluctant to make any promises. He also detects that they are traveling with a hidden elder called Madame Yin, and she is forced to come out. The meeting ends without a deal being struck, so the delegation set off to hunt their beast while Ba thinks about the offer. As soon as they leave, he makes it clear that he intends to create a mineral association with the other major clans to establish unified pricing for the resources mined. He also has a talk with Su King about going to meet Zuodong. He is even willing to let her go back to the human realm with her master, but she wants to stay with Ba for the agreed time. Later that night, Sam responds to a loud thud while patrolling, and is surprised to find Ji badly injured. Ba is informed, and the village priest is summoned to tend to his wounds. The first thing that Ji comments on when he wakes up is how cute the woman assisting the priest was. He doesn't want Ba to get involved in what happened to him and the rest of the delegation, but the young boss demands to know since this incident happened in his territory. Ji narrates how they were ambushed by a powerful monster. The party teamed up against it, but they couldn't take it out with some members losing their lives. Ji and Wang tried to hold it off to allow Madame Yin and Ling to escape. The guys were defeated by the monster, but Wang sacrificed himself to save Ji. After hearing the story, Ba instructs him to change his clothes and rest. The young boss gets a message from his mother, so along with San, he informs Ji that they are going to save the rest of the delegation. Ji takes them to the location, but Ba wants them to slip up. He uses a technique to locate Lin, who is unconscious, but Madame Yin is nowhere to be found, which he finds to be strange. Ji moves with caution till he meets Yin holding an injured Wang. They go to Ling's location where Ba jokes about harming the lady to see their reaction. Ba further confirms his suspicions when he has San attack the group, but the madam is only concerned about protecting Wang. The general uses the opportunity to pull Ji back to their side. Ba reveals his theory that Yin wants to groom Wang into a future influential figure, so this incident was set up to make him look good by saving Ji, who has a noble background, and Ling, whose power is highly valued. Yin shows her true intention now that she has been exposed. The monster that attacked the group earlier returns. San goes to engage it, and all the while Ba calls on his mother's power, which strikes Yin before she can do any damage. His mother then tells him to heal Ling because it could earn him favor from the human realm. As he does so, Yin tries to recover from the damage taken, but it's too much. Ji is given the task of finishing off the old lady, so he tracks her down. During that interval, San clashes with the monster, and he seems to have control of the battle as he slams the creature to the ground. Meanwhile, Wang regains consciousness and is surprised that Ba was able to sense that there was something abnormal with his soul. The young boss gives that credit to the Star Lady. Wang demands that Ba give Ling back to him. He transforms into a creature when the young boss teases him for loving Ling. Ba prevents him from ingesting a suspicious droplet of blood. It falls to the ground, and the young boss is stunned by the amount of power such a small quantity contains. He concludes that it belongs to the sinful beast. Wang gets enraged and rushes in, but Ba defeats him with one attack. Ji has also won his fight and is impressed by Ba's strength. Ling wakes up just as the general comes back as the victor. He has the head of the monster as his trophy. They all return to the village to rest, and Ling later shyly comes to thank Ba for saving her. She quickly excuses herself to Ji's amusement. The guy reveals that Ling rarely thanks people or even asks for help. He requests permission to go back to the human realm to report the incident to their sect. Ji strikes a deal with Ba, where they will provide the Bear Clan with hewing pills in exchange for natural materials. The young boss is so happy that he's willing to allow him to riz some of the ladies whenever he returns. Just before the delegation leave to the human realm, Ba is chosen by the Star Lady to be a messenger. His task is to search for the true scriptures that can save the great wilderness. San wants to join him, but he is not able to go. Ba's father gives him a sword as a goodbye gift from himself and his mother. He just wants to see his son return safely. Just like how I want to see you safely smash the like and subscribe button. Ba leaves with Su King on this new adventure as they hitch a ride with the human delegation. Ba overhears Su King talking to her master about her feelings for him. He gets annoyed by what he hears, as she thinks that he doesn't like girls. They eventually arrive at their first stop. The captain gives them 6 hours to stretch their legs and shop at the local market. Ba walks around and catches the eye of Lian Shan. The disheveled old man offers his services to read his destiny. Ba rejects his offer but gives him some money to improve his look. He also impresses Lian Shan when he tells the old man that he determines his own destiny. Lian Shan later magically boards the ship as it leaves. Ba is stunned to see the old man in his chambers. Lian Shan teleports around the room as he confirms that Ba is the young master of the Bear Hug clan. He offers to cure his strange illness and talks about the countless men he has helped over the millennia. Lian Shan even reveals that Dr. Yuan is his disciple. That's how he learned about Ba's illness because it was so unique. The old man was on his way to meet Ba, so he's happy that they bumped into each other. The young boss is willing to risk getting help from Lian Shan because he is confident that he can defeat the old man if he has bad intentions. Ba informs Su King of his treatment detour and tells her to go back with her master if he delays. When all is done, he will come and find her later. She tries to protest this, but Lian Shan knocks her out with a special bean. He assures everyone that it will enhance her spiritual power when she wakes up. He teleports Ba to a different location, which only confirms that the old man is a top master in the human realm. Lian Shan reveals himself to be the emperor of mankind, who has been healing people for 8,000 years. Ba is stunned to hear this. They finally arrive at Lian Shan's HQ, where it's revealed that Ba's ailment originates from the ancient battle of the immortals. The emperor of mankind also discloses that Ba's curse will disappear if he cultivates a specific technique to the 9th level. However, it will also make Ba the emperor of mankind. This will give him the power to resist the ancient immortals, so Lian Shan officially asks Ba if he's willing to take on such responsibility, as it would mean giving his life to save humanity if need be. The young boss just wants to be cured, so he accepts without hesitation. Lian Shan summons the Yan Emperor's decree, which contains the first cultivation scripture of the human realm. Lian Shan states that gaining the approval of the decree within 1 month is one way for him to cure his ailment. The first trial is to test his physique, so he's tasked with cutting and processing 100 trees without relying on his powers. He does this by nightfall as he packs them perfectly near the hut, but he collapses from exhaustion. The decree leads him to the table where a pill waits for him. His body is filled with power as soon as he pops it. The second trial begins immediately after. He's told to build a house with the logs he chopped. Again, he's not allowed to use his powers. Ba guesses that this tests his craftsmanship and planning abilities. He meets it head-on and builds a stunning house in half a month. The third trial starts just as he's admiring his work. He has to open a creek to the house he just built since water is the source of all life. Lianshan returns when the 1 month is up, and he's impressed with Ba's work. The guy has even cultivated the land. He's given the fourth test, which is to relocate all the things in the old hut to the new house he just built. Ba does this in record speed. The decree drops into his hands as he gets emotional that he has passed all the trials. One of the packed boxes explodes to reveal a lot of similar-looking decrees. This snatches the joy from Ba like Shadur getting drafted in the 5th round. Lianshan sees that his lie has been exposed and tries to explain, but Ba is livid and chases after the old man. The following day, Ba meditates as he's told that the previous trials were a joke. He will now be taught the cultivation technique that will cure him. Ba tries to overlook the fact that he was used for free labor, but his anger boils again when he overhears Lianshan enjoying the place. This interrupts his meditation. The old man further amuses himself by releasing some lightning strikes on Ba. The young boss takes this as a declaration of war, and they both start to play pranks on each other during the training process. Meanwhile, Sukin worries about Ba, but her master assures her that he's in good hands. The young boss has had enough of the games and suggests to Lianshan that they stop, which he agrees to. They both disarm the various pranks they had installed for one another. Lianshan discloses that he intends to send Ba to the West Wildlands. Once he reaches the 3rd level, he will have the ability to contribute something to humanity. He will be specifically going to the women's country because a rebellion is about to happen. Lianshan wants Ba to go and decide if he wants to intervene with his help or not. How he chooses to help is also up to him. The Emperor of Humanity later summons his ministers to tell them to stop conducting trials to find his successor, as it's a waste of time and resources. Ba notes that each minister is likely stronger than his father. Lianshan assures them that he has a way to deal with his shortening lifespan when they worry. After dismissing his ministers, he reveals to Ba that he only has 300 years left, but he needs at least 1,000 years to fully train the new emperor. Ba offers his services if needed, but Lianshan rather warns the young boss to be cautious of the 10 evil set and the 4 Seas house when he gets to the human realm. The first group worship the 10 evil immortals and have infiltrated the human sex to incite internal conflicts. Ba reveals that he has a technique that allows him to easily detect the abnormalities in the soul. That is how he was able to rat out one. Lianshan tasks Ba with dealing with the 10 evil sect. The Yan Emperor's decree will enable him to gather high-level allies when he goes to the major factions. Lianshan drops the bombshell that he was the one who founded the 4 Seas house, so he has someone else who can deal with that matter. He hands over 2 rings to Ba that conceals his aura, while also giving him other benefits. The young boss's suspicions that he's about to get sent away is right, because the old man must figure out how to prolong his life. He also gives Ba some last-minute guidance. This opens new pathways in his body. He then transports him to the women's country with a palm strike. He lands in General Fengi's bath and is attacked, but he manages to block using an ice wall and hold her off with some spikes. She demands that he identify himself, which he does. Fengi still breaks through the ice wall and is smitten by how handsome Ba is. He tries to leave the room after confirming that he's in the woman's kingdom, but he is met by archers outside. Fengi orders them to stand down and informs Ba that the women's country is known for its hospitality. She also reveals that it has been hundreds of years since they last saw a man. The other ladies rush over as soon as they hear that the stranger standing before them is a man. Ba backs off when the general tries to touch him. He gets a little irritated when she guesses that he's a chaste. Fengi gets the idea to present him to their queen. Ba senses this and attempts to fight back, but he's beaten because he doesn't use his star summoning techniques. The general instructs her subordinates to inform the capital of their find, and they prepare a carriage to transport him. Ba refuses to be treated like a gift, so he reveals himself as a divine emissary for the Star Lady and shows the document to prove this. He is given better treatment as he's escorted to the capital in style. Fengi is curious to know more about human reproduction in the outside world. The women's country has a magical pool that allows the females to conceive only girls when they bath inside it. There is also a barrier that protects the kingdom from the outside world and keeps the women from leaving. Ba is sure that the barrier has been erected by a deity given the size. He also notices that the giant beast statues scattered around have a terrifying aura, and he's sure that they are alive. His thoughts are interrupted when a soldier from the capital comes to inform them about a male fiend that has appeared in the city and has terrorized over 16 ladies. These ladies will not be able to enter the sacred pool. Fengi wishes she was around earlier to deal with the threat. Ba is stunned that such a beast is running around. The convoy arrives at the city gates to a parade. The young boss is surprised to see Ji tied up at the entrance. The nobleman begs for help because he's innocent. The prime minister gives them an official welcome. Miss Ling is also with her and is stunned to see Ba. The young boss requests they further investigate after learning that they didn't catch Ji in the act. They rather found him in a compromising position and concluded that he was their culprit. The fact that a normal soldier was able to capture a high-level warrior like Ji means his strength was sealed. Fengi gets livid when she learns that someone close to her was also a victim. She takes her frustration out on Ji when he's lowered down. Later that night, they have a hearing at the Prime Minister's mansion. Ji explains how he was drugged during their welcome banquet. He was then led away by a woman and blacked out afterward. He later woke up unable to move. Some of the victims are brought out, and none of their description of the culprit matches Ji. The guy even removes his top to prove that he doesn't have the distinguishing marks on his body. This catches the attention of the Prime Minister. Based on the evidence, it is concluded that there is a third man in the country. Ji is acquitted and released. He challenges Fengi to a fight because she disrespected him earlier. She accepts and they leave before Ba can warn Ji that she's stronger than him. Ba turns his attention to a guard. He points her suspicious demeanor to Ling, who knocks the helmet off to reveal Queen Jai. As she leaves, she expresses her excitement to meet her visitors at the upcoming banquet. Ba later tends to Ji's injuries after he took an L against the general. He is left to rest, but the Prime Minister later comes wanting to entertain herself, but Ji has learnt his lesson and rejects her. Ba watches on impressed with his actions. This is interrupted when the Queen visits wanting to know about the outside world. Their discussion is cut short when Ba gets another knock at his door. He opens it to Ling. She wants help finding the culprit who attacked the women. She also hides when there is another knock on the door. It is the Prime Minister trying to get lucky with Ba. This interaction is also disturbed when Ji comes to the door. Ba notices that something is wrong and erects a barrier as his door explodes. A sudden flashback reveals that the third man in the country is named Gan Fan. His mission is to take out Ji, so he framed the womanizer. However, Gan Fan was livid when Ba interrupted. He pretended to be Ji by mimicking his voice. This got him close enough to attack Ba's room. His plan fails as the young boss blocks the assault and counters with some icicles. Gan Fan evades, but he's soon attacked by Ling. She comes out on top as they clash, but things get worse for him when Jai and the minister join the fight. He tries to take them out with a huge attack, but Ba counters with his own that knocks the villain down. He regains consciousness to find himself tied up. Ba demands to know who sent him, but the guy is not a snitch and rather self-destructs. Jai warns everyone in time, allowing them to escape unhurt. Ba expresses his gratitude as she excuses herself. He rules out the minister as the source of the rebellion, after seeing how wary she is of the queen. The other ladies also leave now that the incident has been taken care of. The following day, the visitors take the carriage to the banquet. Ji is happy that his name has been cleared without doubt. He thanks Ba for helping him again and offers an invitation to join the Four Seas house, but he rejects it. Soon after, they arrive at the main palace where they are greeted by cheering women. They all stop and run away when Ji steps out last. Ba is still struggling to find a sign of this revolt, but he pauses his thoughts as they pass by the pregnancy pool. He also senses the presence of a powerful beast, but the minister assures him that it's the country's guardian. It's the main reason they have been able to survive in the wilderness for so long. Johnny invites Ba to her resting place, and after they exchange greetings, everyone quickly follows them. The others watch on as Ba and the queen swing together. He uses this time to ask about her relationship with Fengi. It is revealed that they have been childhood friends. However, the general has been at their border for the past few years, so they have not seen each other too often. Ba uses this chance to inform the queen that he knows that their border is not completely isolated from the outside world. Jati confirms it, but only her and the prime minister know about this. The queen wishes to visit the outside world, but her daily responsibilities are keeping her from doing so. She feels a little envious of Ba as he talks about how free they are at the Bear Hug clan, but she has conceded to the will of her predecessors of keeping things closed. During this interim, it is disclosed that Ji and Ling are in the country, because Fengi sent a letter requesting the help from the Four Seas house. Ji assures her that they are strong enough to deal with the situation. The general decides that they will make their move that night. Ji later informs Ling of the plan, and he notices that she is worriedly looking at how close Ba and Jai are getting. He suggests that she can get to know Ba better if they get drinks later. The juice starts to flow as night falls, and they are all stunned by Ba's tolerance. They all bring out drinks native to their homes, and the younger boss's is the strongest. This is proven as he's the last man standing. Ba stumbles because there is something wrong with one of the drinks, so he protects himself in an ice cocoon. Ji wakes up when he thinks the coast is clear. He asks for Ba's forgiveness as he wakes Ling and Fengi up with a pill. Fengi excuses herself to an isolated location and puts a red bandana on as she exposes her intention to destroy the distorted women's country. She gives the order to the Imperial Guards to seal the palace so that they can begin their uprising. Things flash back to when a younger Fengi witnessed the priestesses making a sacrifice to the beast that protects their kingdom. She made a sound as she tried to run away and got caught. Jai asked them to spare Fengi from being fed to the monster. Her wish was granted, so Fengi was made one of her personal guards. Presently, the general gathers her soldiers at the entrance of the underground temple with the aim to expose the darkest aspect of their kingdom. This is so that they can put an end to it. Ling and Ji join them as they rush inside. All the while, Ba tries to figure out why Fengi would mount a rebellion. He is sure that the aim is not to be queen, otherwise she wouldn't need the help of the Four Seas house. The young boss decides to start his investigation at the pregnancy pool. During that interval, Fengi fights her way to the area of the temple where she hits a gong which prompts some kids to come out. She discloses that they are being raised as food for the monster in exchange for protection, and drops the bombshell that she was supposed to have such a fate. The general leads everyone to the space where the creature lives. They interrupt an ongoing ritual, and Fengi gives an emotional speech about how wrong this practice is before ordering an attack on the monster. Meanwhile, Ba arrives at the pregnancy pool where there is a mural depicting the history of the nation. The young boss feels like he can help after getting a better understanding of the situation, so he freezes the troops who try to apprehend him and heads to the temple. Back at the main area, the rebels struggle against the beast as it defeats the fodder and recovers from the stronger attacks. Fengi prepares to use a last-ditch technique on the monster, but Ba makes it in time to stop her. He uses his experience in fighting magic beasts to demonstrate how to subdue the creature. The young boss puts up a wall to prevent anyone from charging the monster. He also doesn't like the sacrifice culture of the country. However, he exposes the full truth of the situation that the general tried to hide. The beast is the core of the barrier that protects the country. This is only known to the Prime Minister and the Queen. If the creature is eliminated, the barrier will come down and over 100 beast statues will come to life. Fengi tries to assure everyone that she has spent decades training the elite troops at the border, so they should be able to defeat the beasts once they have been unleashed. Ba reveals that each creature statue is on the same level as the one monster that almost destroyed the Bear Hug clan earlier. Fengi recalls a younger Jai's worries of turning into a monster. This triggers the general to use her life force to land an attack on the beast and defeats it. She tries to destroy the crown that fell from the defeated monster, but it blows her back and jets off to the pregnancy pool. The visitors chase after it. Ji starts to wonder if he has chosen the wrong side. The barrier starts to fall and the beast statues slowly crack. Ba uses his power to show the situation around the kingdom. He leaves Ji with the task of stopping the crown from rotating. This will decrease the rate at which the barrier breaks down. As soon as Ba leaves, Ji calls on his master Shu. Turns out that Ji and Ling were taking part in the trial to be the emperor of mankind. He's willing to give that up in return for his master's help. Shu decides to help and uses his power to chain the crown in place. He bleeds from his mouth as he tries to stop the rotation. During that interval, Ba catches up to Fengi and saves the queen from her. They all head back to the pregnancy pool to solve this emergency. Jai is saddened by the general's actions, even though it was done out of kindness. As Shu struggles to hold on, Jati reveals that the royal family has the blood of the goddess. The queen that wears the crown turns into the beast and acts as the core of the barrier. The creature they just defeated was her mother. Jati must take her place to save the country. She informs everyone that she has a younger sister who is being secretly raised in the outside world, so the royal bloodline will be intact. She gives Ba a hug and expresses her hope to have wanted to grow old with someone. Fengi cries and apologizes as her queen walks towards the pool. Everyone else also watches with sadness in their eyes. Ba racks his brain trying to think of another way for them to resolve this. He gets a eureka moment when he recalls Lian Shan stating that he could help the country with his star summoning technique. Ba stops the queen and suggests that they change the system that powers the barrier by having Jaiye become a deity who collects the belief of living beings. The divine energy collected should be enough to prevent Jaiye from turning into the monster when she puts on the crown. While Ba takes his sweet time explaining his genius plan, Shu looks like he's holding in the biggest poop of his life as he struggles to keep the crown from rotating with his magical chains. The queen is on board after hearing that plan and takes the crown. She uses her own power to hold off the transformation, while the others put the measures for the new system. A giant statue is built of Jia. This acts as a tangible target of faith. Miracles are then showcased to make people believers. Ba creates a formation that gathers the power of belief. He made it simple so that it can be replicated around the country. He warns the prime minister to keep this new system a secret from the outside world. During that interval, Lianshan defeats an ogre and interrogates him till it's revealed that the old man can head to the Kunlun mountain if he wants to find a way to extend his lifespan. Lianshan is surprised to hear this because it's the territory of the Queen Mother of the West. Back at the female kingdom, Ba checks in on Jia, who has now become a spirit. She is happy with her new state and thanks them all for their help. Later that evening, Shu and Ba have a talk, and the master is impressed with what the young boss has managed to achieve. Shu puts the final touches on the formation before excusing himself. He meets up with members of the Four Seas House in an isolated area. They want to confirm his resignation and also find out why Ling and Ji quit the trial. The master is not interested in talking to them and refuses to set up a meeting between Ba and the Four Seas House so that they can learn how to gather belief. The young boss is the first one in human history to accomplish such a feat. Shu excuses himself after giving them nothing. Night falls and Ji has invited some of the senior females of his family to the country's celebration. He hopes that building ties could help the women's kingdom escape the attention of the Four Seas House. Members of Ling's sect are also present in the delegation. They are surprised to see Ling dancing and singing as the music blasts. She meets up with Ba and Ji the following morning. She informs them that she didn't get scolded for her actions because she broke through a level of strength during her performance. They all have a laugh about the situation, but Ba changes the topic when he gives Ling and Ji some goodbye presents. He assures them that he will be around for a couple more days, but that was a lie because he prepares to leave that night. However, he stops at the statue of Jia to say farewell, and he leaves a drink for her. Fengi comes out of the shadows to inspect it, and she's looking rough. Her hair has gone white from using her life force to eliminate the monster. Fengi sits against the statue when an apparition of the queen hugs her till the life leaves her body. Ba finally exits the kingdom, but he's greeted by the members of the Four Seas House. They try to force him to go with them, but Lianshan sneaks up and takes them out because they were using his name to get Ba to go with them. The young boss also manages to talk him out of attacking the Four Seas House directly. He seals this by giving the old man a lollipop to enjoy. Lianshan expresses his disappointment in his former sect, before turning his attention to praising Ba for saving the women's kingdom. He also informs Ba of his plan to go to the Kunlun mountain to find some spiritual herb. The old man asks Ba to join him, even though he could go alone to get it. The young boss is terrified of going to the backyard of the Queen Mother of the West, but Lianshan wants help with an unfulfilled wish, so they teleport out of the area to start their journey. One night, the duo sits in front of a campfire where Lianshan tells the story of Sui Ren, the first emperor of mankind. The legend gained the power to defeat the fire deity, who was oppressing mankind. This angered the heavenly emperor, who launched a war against the humans. But Sui Ren taught man how to fight back, and they managed to fend off the deities. This forced the heavenly emperor to negotiate with Sui Ren. Mankind returned to the South Wilderness and created the human realm. He told Ba this story to inspire him to master the power of the Yan Emperor's decree and to fight for humanity when the time comes. Lianshan also gives the young boss some relics to help him cultivate faster. Ba is confused as to why the old man has a finite lifespan when the innate deities can achieve immortality. Lianshan reveals that it was one of the restrictions the heavenly emperor has imposed. In the human realm, those who surpass the power of the immortals are called transcendent. They have the power to battle innate deities, so their lifespan is restricted as a safeguard. The old man cuts the conversation short and teleports to the Kunlun mountain. Ba is in awe of the size of the entrance and is almost crushed by the aura of the sinful beasts nearby. One tap from Lianshan makes him feel better, but soon after, 4 powerful beasts surround them. Lianshan can see that a battle is unavoidable, so he sends Ba to an island and tells him to wait for him there. The young boss gives Lianshan some starlight blessing before the portal closes. He lands on the island shortly after, but he's unable to move since he gave the old man so much power. The young boss is woken up by a bird. It gives him a berry which restores his energy. After some interacting with the bird, it suddenly turns to a girl, which shocks Ba. He begs with her to turn into a bird and land on his hand like she did earlier. Ba then asks her to transform back to a human. She does so, and steps on Ba's hand. The young boss is amazed by how soft her foot is. He cries tears of joy which must look creepy to the lady. She kicks him into the ocean. He apologizes for his reaction after calming down. She finds it amusing that Ba is covered in sea debris. He observes her for a moment and figures out that she is Lian Shan's daughter. Ba concludes that the reason why he was sent to the island and can touch her without passing out is because Lian Shan wants him to be his son-in-law. He thinks that this is the old man's last wish and willfully accepts it. Back at the Kunlun entrance, one of the beasts stands guard and turns to the gate when it senses movement. It bows and respects as a younger Lian Shan emerges. He scoffs and teleports out of there. That brings the season to an end. Shout out to Itsakira09 for keeping it toasty in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can be in the next video.
Okay.